The setting, Paris. In the 1790s, citizens of France are swept up in the ideals of a revolution, a time period filled with chaos, sacrifice, and the constant threat of the guillotine.
Yeah, New York Times best-selling author Allison Pataki and her brother Owen Pataki tackled this explosive French Revolution in their new joint novel. It is called
Where the Light Falls. It tells the stories of three citizens of France and how their lives intertwine, along with a few cameos by a few famous historical figures. There's a little Napoleon Bonaparte there. There's Robespierre. There's, it's welcome and congratulations once again. And this time with your brother.
I know. It was very special. We are big history dorks in my family. And who doesn't love the French stories growing up, Les Mis and Tale of Two Cities?
Right.
So when we sat down to do this, I got the chills just the way we would go back and forth. And he originally saw it as a screenplay. I saw it as a novel. And we were like, let's do this together.
Right, having read it together. Because you can easily now write the screenplay.
Maybe someday, hopefully.
Based on the love.
So how did Kath will tell the plot for you, but how did the process work with the two of you together? Did one person drive and one person ride sidecar, or how did it work?
Well, we actually we brainstormed, we talked about it together. We had a couple of years of just kind of going back and forth, brainstorming, going through some charting the story.
Because you were in the military, right?
I was in the military during
and you were a young mother.
Yeah, it was long distance. It was long distance the whole way. There was Facebook chat, there was FaceTime, Skype, going back and forth. I obviously love the love story and the women, and Owen obviously loves the history, and this is a very dramatic time period.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So when I got out of the Army, that was when we both kind of had some time to actually sit down and take the time and write it. So I took 6 months, kind of did my part, passed it back to Allie. She would have it for a few months, then she would pass it back to me.
Isn't that fantastic?
I think it's the cutest thing
I've ever seen.
And we
still like each other.
We still talk.
We're still talking.
Yes, they do.
But you know what? Writing together is such a personal thing, and it's not something you could do with everyone, but it was a very seamless process.
So she's the queen of the historical fiction, and your sweeping language is so great. But I loved what you did with all of the battle scenes, because I've got to say, sometimes I just go
flip through those.
I know, people got killed, people got cut. But,
well, I'm glad you didn't with this one.
No, I know, I couldn't tell. It's seamless. It's seamless the way you guys did it.
Yeah, she's not a bad partner to have.
And you could not ask for a more dramatic backdrop than the French Revolution, just with ordinary people and the way their characters come out.
Is this historical fiction like your previous ones?
Absolutely.
So how did you figure out what you were going to kind of enhance and what you're going to take from the pages?
So we had the general background of the story idea, and then as we kind of sat down and really kind of dove into the research, we both were kind of shocked at how intense, how incredible this time period is, and there was a lot of stuff we could put in. But we tried to keep it close to the story, keep it close to the characters, keep kind of capture the themes of the revolution, but make it character-based and capture the families that are involved with it. Keep
There's
love,
several love stories that you get very involved with. What I found so fascinating is, we understand why the people of France rose up against such tyranny and such excess in the nobility, and they were starving to death. But what a lot of people aren't aware of, and your book makes it so clear, is how the people that became the new leaders became as bad as the monarchy that they were under before.
Absolutely.
I mean, just as evil.
Absolutely. It was a revolution that was separated by only a few years from our American Revolution. It's Bastille Day. It's their 4th of July.
And
they
it's Happy
celebrate
Bastille
that
Day today.
Exactly. But so it was just a revolution that, unlike the American Revolution, went down a very dark path and really started out with Thomas Jefferson and all of our American heroes kind of celebrating this idea of French independence. But then these characters got a hold of it, and it became very, very dramatic.
That was a lot of the inspiration for what we wanted to. We were kind of curious, how could it start with a lot of positivity, a lot of justice behind it, and how could it devolve into something
so quickly.
Crazy?
So quickly.
And so relevant to today.
Read this so fast.
Oh, I couldn't
that shows how good it is.
I didn't want anybody to leave me alone. I'm reading.
I'm glad.
I love you. So proud of you. One more. It's your 4th book, right? Your 4th. And I know there's more stuff with the two of you together.
Absolutely.
Congratulations. Where the Light Falls is out now.
We are back.
Get your copy.
Yes, indeed. We're back in a moment, kids. But first, this is Today on NBC.